All right. We are back with another episode of Worm Hole Junction live. Very exciting. And we have Moonbeam Charles here with us again. Moonbeam, how you doing, buddy?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. You know, frosty as always.
Moonbeam Charles here with us again.
Oh, shit.
Moonbeam, how you doing, buddy? You'll
Not too shabby, not too shabby. You know,
headphones.
frosty as always. There we go. We should be good now.
Yeah,
Sorry
if you
about
put
that.
some headphones in, you'll be able to like hear. Or you have headphones in.
No, I don't. Not yet. I'm still really redneck. I'm
As
working
long
on
as you can hear it, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's still really
It's good
redneck.
now, yeah.
And we got the sergeant, Sam, here as well.
Hello.
Sam, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
You're
Happy to
doing.
be here.
You what?
I'm happy to be here. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, no, for sure we can hear you.
Moonbeam, can you hear me out there?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're coming through clear when you lean forward.
Sweet. Okay,
She's
good.
you're pretty loud. So.
I naturally talk very loud, so yeah.
Awesome. So Moonbeam, man, tell me how life is going out there on the West Coast. How's BC? Well, I guess it's not the West Coast, but how's BC treating you, and what's going on in the garden?
You know, right now is the best time of year in BC. We got our hascaps, just perfect ripening. They're like basically falling off the bush.
What's a hascap? I don't even know what that is. Sorry, can you explain what that is?
It's very similar to a blueberry. It's the national fruit of Japan. So it's
Ooh.
it's very similar to a blueberry. They don't talk. They don't talk.
Oh, we got the tacos in the house.
Yeah.
Taco is always around. It's very similar to a blueberry, but it gets very long. It's kind of elongated. And instead of picking them as you would normally, you kind of shake the bush and have them fall off when they're at peak ripeness.
Cool.
They're amazing. They're amazing. They got like 10 times the antioxidants of blueberries.
Oh damn! And is it like plentiful? Like you got tons of them everywhere?
Oh, we have the perfect climate for it. So, like for Canadian economics, it's a gold mine because Japan will buy almost as much as we can produce, and we're one of the few places in the world that has the frost, the amount of frost days to actually bring the plants to fruit.
That's why you like it so much, because they're frost. They love the frost.
They love the frost. They love the frost, just like me.
So wait, why do they need frost days to get them to fruit? What's the deal with that?
A lot of plants need a certain amount of frost days, or like below 0 days. So hascap berries need a certain amount of frost days. I believe peaches need a certain amount of frost days. I could be wrong on that. Blueberries need a certain amount of frost days.
Interesting. So you only really pick them in frost times, is what you're saying?
Yeah, if they don't get the right amount of frost days, they won't bloom. They'll just constantly grow leaves and stems.
So when do frost days happen for you guys? Is that not early for frost for you, or it starts happening now because you're pretty far north?
Typically, I don't know the exact below frost. How do I explain this? So I know gardening, I start from May long, or the end of May long, until beginning of September, for the most part. But for actual frost days, I'm not. I think it's 100 and something days of total frost days. But I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. Sadly,
okay. So you collect these yourself, and then what do you like? Just eat them?
I just eat them.
Or do you make? Yeah.
I use them just. They taste just like a blueberry, but a little more sour.
That's nice.
They make an amazing syrup for like pancakes and waffles. It's so good.
Are they native to the area, or were they brought in? You said they're from Japan originally. Were they brought in and then they just did really well here because we have a similar climate there for growing?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
There's got to be a reason these Japanese people love them so much.
As far as I know, it's Japan's national fruit, so I would assume it's native to Japan. Whether or not we have native varieties from here, I honestly don't know. But I do know it's Edmonton has done a lot of basically a lot of pheno hunting for finding the right cultivars for good production in our areas.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of them right now. They look like, just as you described them, long blueberries.
They're really good, man. Like all
They
day.
look trippy. I don't know how I've ever messed them.
It's
Haskell berries.
really nice for harvesting because like blueberries, you have to go through and pick each blueberry off the plant. But the haskap, you can just take like a tarp or like a kiddie pool and put it around the base of it and just shake it, and all of them fall down to the bottom. So it works really good for harvesting.
That's cool. Here, I got it up here. So haskap berries, also known as honeyberries, belong to a circumpolar species native to northern boreal forest, though native varieties historically were not documented in British Columbia. Modern sweet varieties grown in BC and across Canada were developed from Russian and Japanese strains through breeding programs like the one at the University of Saskatchewan. So that's kind of interesting. Dope, man. So it sounds like you're getting in some gathering, some hunting and gathering.
Oh yeah, I always do that. I do that every year. That's my life.
What other things do you hunt and gather? Well, let's just focus on the gathering. I'm sure you do some hunting too.
You know, I'm white, but I got a lot of native buddies. I like to hold the gun or I like to pack for. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
But no, I do a lot of gathering. I'll do like Usnea Devil's Club, or wait, no, I think that one's protected. So Usnea Goldenrod Devil's Club, potentially. We got the low bush blueberries. We got the Saskatoons.
What were those first ones? I don't think I know the first ones. I haven't heard of those.
Usnea? That would be old Mansbeard.
Oh yeah, we don't have that out here. You guys can. What do you do with that?
It's got some antibacterial, antimicrobial properties to it.
You know that old Mansbeard stuff? On the West Coast, it like hangs in the trees and it looks like it looks like moss, right?
Oh,
it is a moss.
I totally know what you're
It's a fungus and a bacteria that have a symbiotic relationship.
Really? That's dope, man. So what do you do with that? You just like eat handfuls of moss? What do you like a kind of deer or something? What do you do with it? You blend it up or what?
I don't eat it that much myself, but I use it in a lot of my tinctures and my salves.
Oh.
You gotta identify it properly. So the one that is edible, that's safe for humans, is when you pull it apart, it's got almost like an elasticiness in the center, and that's how you can identify it from the non-safe ones.
Sounds dangerous, man. You're living on the edge out there.
No, it's completely safe. I eat watermelon berries too, and that's a laxative. They say it's slightly toxic because it has laxative properties, but that's native food. That's part of our culture here.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. I haven't heard of that either. I think we got some different things going on out here. Although I can't say that I'm an expert on really foraging out here, but we're getting into it. We actually were going out to the swamp this last week, and there were so many mushrooms popping off like on our way, and they were all different varieties. We found some chanterelles, like we were looking it up with the old Google, and yeah, they were like we couldn't even make it out to the swamp because we were seeing all these varieties. We found the chanterelles there was only a few, but then there was that one that was maybe poisonous, which was a part of the Russo family or something like that. They're these ones that like they could be deathly poisonous, and there's really no way to tell unless you do like a spore test. Essentially,
kind of like the pine.
The what?
We got a pine mushroom up here. It's really good, but you got to be very careful because there's lookalikes, right? Like it's very hard to tell the difference.
Absolutely. Like with the chanterelle ones, it was only the difference of, I guess, the edges have a ridge versus having like gills. Mushrooms have those little gills.
Yeah.
The chanterelles have like a ridge along the edges. That's the only way you can tell the difference between the chanterelles and a poisonous variety. Like I don't know why anybody ever mushroom picks. It seems freaking.
See the picture?
Yeah,
it is scary. I've gone.
Oh yeah,
that's
the one right there. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one. I can't remember what it's called. We'd have to check it out, but maybe somebody in the chat knows. Maybe you can find out.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. So it was really fun, and I was like, damn, it's so amazing especially this time of year, once you start getting the dew going in the morning, the mushrooms start popping up through like the fall. And if you actually know what you're looking for, you can really get a lot of food. I have a friend on my my lake, and she takes people out for mushroom picking, foraging activities, you know, and then they go and they pair it with like wine and everything, and they have these huge meals. And she's so confident that nobody's even worried. I don't know. That's the part that seems very difficult, is to know exactly what you're looking at.
Friend on my
Using Google, it's okay, but
takes people out.
When it comes to mushrooms, I get extra cautious because there is so many like poisonous varieties, and like the pine mushroom, for instance. The first time I went picking that, I was with my buddy who picks it all the time. And before we went to go eat them, I asked him, like, how do we know that this is the right one? He's like, oh, well, it smells like feet. And if it doesn't smell like feet, then it's not good. And I was like, well, what happens if it's not the one that smells like feet? He's like, oh, we'll die pooping ourselves. I was like, oh, okay. You know, yeah, don't mess around unless you know what you're doing.
This is actually really similar to this carrot that I was taught about here. We have it native in Ontario here. It's like a I forget the name, but we have these giant white flowers that grow just like wildflowers. I don't know if you guys have them out there. Maybe you probably know what I'm talking about. They're like flat white top flowers.
If you do a carrot, if you grow a carrot twice, like if you do 2 summers of a carrot, it will grow its flowers. So I have seen those flowers. I know what you're talking about.
I see. Okay, so yeah, they're really interesting because they look the exact same. There's edible ones where if you pick out the root, you can just eat the white carrot part on the bottom. But then there's ones that look, the poison hemlock, the exact same. They look the exact same, but if you eat it, they're completely poisonous. Totally toxic, and you can hardly tell the difference. But I was like 9 years old at camp, and they were saying, pick the carrot and eat it, and we did, and I'm still alive to tell the story, but I can't identify it now. But it's crazy how similar it looks.
We did see it at the cottage,
did,
and
did
it looked like a carrot. Yeah,
it smelled exactly like a carrot.
Yeah, it looked like a little tiny white carrot on the bottom of the roots, and we were like, well, we could eat it and be fine, and it would taste like a carrot, or we could die. Probably
You're kind of giving me anxiety, you know? When I was younger, I ate something very similar.
Oh, well, really?
They were teaching me when I was like 9 years old to eat this at camp, and I was fine. So I think you're fine too.
Weird.
Now, we'll get off the topic of dangerous carrots that you might find in the woods. What other things do you gather? So you gather all this stuff, and you just use it. Do you gather anything that is like? Do you do any? You do some gardening, right? As well, like that's just like.
I'm a huge. I love gardening. It doesn't matter what plant it is. Cannabis is what I have a passion for, but I love gardening. I got pumpkins. I got squash. I'm trying to do some watermelons. That's pretty tricky where I'm at. But I got corn, bunch of different brassicas. So your broccolis, cauliflowers, cabbage, all those.
Cool.
Beans, peas. I do a lot of different stuff.
If you could pick, what do you think your favorite thing to grow that's a vegetable is outside? Or fruit? I'll say for me personally, it's beans. I love growing beans.
Yeah, what kind of bean?
Pole beans, like anything that climbs, because they're so productive. And really, when you're growing in a garden, like there's not a whole lot that's going to give you a ton of protein. But if you're growing beans, you're literally growing food that you could survive off of, you know, like, and it's something that it's just it grows so much, especially if you have a trellis, you can actually get a big dent in your food bill. Like if you're just eating beans every day for like 2 months, it's amazing. Everything else, I'm like, tomatoes are so cheap. It's like
it might make your budget amazing, but it might not be so amazing to your company.
True. That's true. That's a very good point.
It's not a pole bean, but one of my favorite beans is dragon tongues. Have you ever had those?
No, I haven't had those.
I'm gonna put you on some shit. Dragon tongue beans, those hit. They're almost as sweet. They're almost as sweet as like a snap pea, but you still got that heavy protein hit.
True. Okay, we got a B East Coast Funk Hunter. First of all, great name, man. All plants are edible at least once. That's a very good point.
I don't know about that. that hemlock or the wolfsbane. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why we didn't take it. But when you look around at my place up north, it's like there's so much of it. You could, if it was edible, you could get yourself some carrots that are going to last a while. So, anyways, it's interested me. It's starting to pique my interest to start getting a little bit more like figure this stuff out, so that I could potentially get into some gathering. Seems like a fun thing.
One that's got me, like, speaking of like poisonous stuff. So we're talking about like things that might be slightly toxic but are still considered edible. Like I got the Indian paintbrush. It's a bioaccumulator, so it tends to accumulate selenium. If you got high patches of selenium nearby, it could be kind of bad. Or if you have
What
any
is selenium? Sorry, what's selenium? I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
You don't know what selenium? Selenium is a micronutrient, so it's similar to like your calcium, your magnesium, your boron.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
So if you had a bunch of it nearby, what would be a source of having a bunch of selenium? Just like your own nutrients?
it's essential for life. You need selenium for, like, I think it has to do with your. I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on this, but I believe it has to do with your tendons and your joints. So you need a certain amount of selenium, but too high amounts of selenium are toxic. So it's kind of like that. It's a balancing point. You got to be careful with it.
I gotcha. Cool.
But
yeah.
Speaking of that, I was watching your video. I love your swamp videos. Anybody watching, check out Wormhole Swamp videos. He's got some epic plants out there. But
Thanks,
I was
man.
watching them, and you're having ferns, I believe it is.
Oh yeah.
A lot of any chance any of them are fiddleheads?
I'm not. That is a good point to bring that up. I don't know. I would love to know because I'm constantly around them, and that would be awesome. Let's see. I think they might be, but don't you have to catch them pretty? Yeah, you got to catch them pretty early, correct?
The fiddleheads, yeah, you got to catch them early. Yeah. They're great.
I don't really know. I use them
fry them up with some butter and garlic. Those are good.
They're available only in a brief window from April to May. But I'm just trying to see if it's. Yeah, it seems like they might be. So that would be cool. I could get a whole bunch of those, and I could do some pruning around the plants with all those ferns there. That'd be great. Dope, man. Well, yeah, no, I was thinking about like starting to do all this foraging and figuring all this stuff out because there's so much stuff out there. And I used to tree plant back in BC, which is like pretty close to where you live, actually. And there was always mushroom pickers, like guys who would go out the entire summer and just pick mushrooms, wild mushrooms, and they'd be making as much money as us.
So
like, have you seen those guys out there?
It's a little close to home. I'm kind of doxing myself, but whatever. You tree planted in my backyard, basically. I wouldn't be surprised if you did tree plant my backyard.
Nice.
But we had the fires.
You're welcome.
Thank you. 100%.
Just joking. I planted some trees for you in your backyard.
No, that's huge. That's huge. Every one of those trees supports enough oxygen for a family, or for a family of 4. That's huge.
Absolutely.
Fuck, where was I going with this? We had the fires up in the Pine Pass there, and like Hasler and up by the coal mine there.
Mm-hmm.
So right now for the tree planters, there's probably tons of morels, which are a good cash crop.
Nice. Yeah, those guys make tons of money. I don't know, like you probably got to be some kind of expert and have some connections, but not to say that I want to make a bunch of money.
Morels are pretty nice because they're easy to identify.
Right, they're really obvious. Yeah, that's a good point. Cool, man. So what else is going on in the garden for you? So did you answer? You said your favorite plant to grow was what again?
Haven't answered it yet.
Well, here we are.
That's a really tough one. I would have to say it's probably ground cherries because I have a ground cherry she's old. I've had a ground cherry for many, many years now. It's my mom's favorite plant, actually. I grow it for her, and every Mother's Day, it seems to be the berries are just perfectly ripe come Mother's Day. So that's one of my favorites. And then kohlrabi would be my next. I love kohlrabi.
I don't think I've ever grown kohlrabi.
It's basically a really fat, swollen broccoli stem.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. And what does it taste? It tastes like broccoli?
Tastes like broccoli stem, but it's more crunch. It's almost like an apple for crunchiness and texture.
Mm,
It's good. It's good.
nice. That's dope. My other favorite thing to grow is hot peppers. Because I feel like with hot peppers, first of all, they're really fun to grow because they just look interesting. But you can do so much with them. You can make hot sauce. You can make a ton of hot sauce with like one. If you plant one ghost pepper plant in a summer, you could make enough hot sauce to give everybody you know a jar, and you'd still have a bag of hot peppers.
I got some Sugar Rush peach hot sauce. It's too hot for me, but I got some of that that's still left over from last year.
Yeah, exactly. It's like actually really useful. There's some things you go in the garden that are just kind of pointless in a way, but they're still fun. Like I love tomatoes, and I know having fresh tomatoes is amazing, but like it's not like you're saving tons of money. You're getting better quality, and it tastes better. But it's not like something. Better. It's so easy to get tomatoes. Like growing, it's kind of a little two-dimensional for me at this time. Sometimes.
I know you know this feeling. I know you know it. Yeah, we could go to the store for our tomatoes or a pot or whatever we want. But there's something to the fact it's better quality. You know what went into it. But there's also that aspect of it's almost medicine working with it and going through, like caring for it, bringing it all the way to fruit.
That's true.
As I'm sure all of our people in chat know, gardening is medicine outside of the bowl.
That's a good point. It's all good. And the therapeutic benefits of actually just doing it, like actually being gardening constantly. We got somebody. Oh yeah, B East Coast Funk Hunter is from Nova Scotia. Nice, man. Welcome in from Nova Scotia. I used to live out there in Halifax. A beautiful place. Have you been to Halifax, East Coast?
No, I got it. I really do.
Dude, you got East Coast vibes written all over you, man. It's a good thing. East Coasters are some of my favorite people.
My stepdad is Newfie.
There you go. I knew it. There's something in you. You had some influence. Yeah, they're all like East Coast. It's all about kitchen parties, hanging out. Nobody really cares what you do for a living. They're just like, what's going on tonight? It's a beautiful culture. Cool, man. So yeah, what else is going on in your life? You doing any mad scientist experiments with your breeding or any other things that you're getting up to?
This is
for those of you just coming in and have not met Moonbeam Charles, he's a breeder, a cannabis hobbyist cannabis breeder up in northern BC, and he's really dialed in some auto strains crossed with like photo periods, and he's pretty experienced at breeding.
I have both auto flowers, photo periods, and some auto photo crosses that are very photosensitive that I've worked on.
Nice.
A long time.
Nice.
That's a great question. So a lot of people watching my stuff, they might know that I'm dealing with some hop latent virus or potentially tobacco mosaic virus. I haven't actually tested it, but one of the things I'm kind of going through right now is potentially looking at with the plant that's been giving me issues with the hop latent virus and the tobacco mosaic virus. It's a triploid, so I can't make new seeds and start fresh with it. So I'm potentially looking at doing tissue culture.
So sorry, can you just rewind? What is the virus? What does it do?
Hop latent virus or tobacco mosaic virus. They're two different viruses, and I'm not exactly sure which virus I'm actually dealing with at the moment. To me, it looks like hop latent virus because it comes from the States. I'm leaning towards more hop latent virus because I know that is something they deal with.
Okay. Cool. What does it look like on the plant?
Visually, it'll look like you'll see it as like kind of almost stunting. So the plant won't grow as quick as it normally would. It'll be kind of lagging behind, not reaching its full potential. But you'll also visually see kind of so I don't want to mislead anybody with this because like you and I talked about those duck hybrids that have those leaves that kind of overlap.
Yeah.
This is different. With tobacco mosaic virus, you will have a change in your leaf morphology, but what will happen is sometimes you get these curvy leaves. They'll kind of curve out to the side.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you'll get these kind of yellowy spots, white spots.
Okay.
But it's a virus. You know, my plant's sick. It's the layman terms in it, and I want to fix her because I can't really make seeds of her. And that THCV I got is kind of unique. It's got really high THCV concentration. It is a sativa, which anybody who knows me, it's kind of controversial, but I think sativa's rope. Unless the very rare circumstances, it's got that THCV. In which case, this Giganator from Grow the Revolution does have. So it's been a battle for me because I want to keep it, but I know it's fucking me up. Or pardon my language.
Is it only on the one plant or is it on multiple?
It's on the one plant, but it can. It's just like a cold for a human. You're sick, you can get your wife sick.
Right.
If I'm out there touching my plants and I don't disinfect with bleach, specifically bleach for the tobacco mosaic virus. If I'm not disinfecting in between, I can transfer that virus between plants. And moving so this year I'm running some old Kush genetics that don't flower. Well, these ones actually kind of do, but I'm definitely stress testing them. And then that THCV, it does not flower in time for my climate, so I'm having to light dep it. And that constant transition, I'm moving them around, and
it's a lot of work, man.
It is, but it's worth it for my medicine, man.
That's fair. Have you ever had leaf septoria? Because I had that. That stuff sucks.
Leaf septoria? No, I don't know about that. Look.
Okay, well, leaf septoria sucks. It's basically like a spore-based type, infection on your plant. So it like comes up when you have lots of organic material on the ground. So like I got it because I was doing an outdoor grow where I was basically like chop and dropping. I was putting down cardboard. I was using compost. I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. I even did some night soil composting for that thing. You know what that is? It's like human compost, like human waste compost. Because I had an outhouse. So I was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, so it was literally the shit, my weed. That was years ago, though. Anyways, I was using too much organic material, and like basically this spore, like it thrives in heavily organic environments, and once you get it, it like just stays present in your soil, and it will splash up and hit your plant. So even if you have to trim everything up, and even if you do, if it's on the leaves or above, you can't stop it. And I had it for multiple years in the same spot. So I had to just bail on the whole spot for a year to let the area like clear out. There's ways to treat it, but it's really tough. So anyways, I just thought maybe you knew about that because you might want to check that one out too. That one's really tricky to deal with. And it's really hard to spot because it comes up as like little white and yellow spots. And it could be a number of different things.
Kind of like spider mite damage would look.
Somewhat similar. And then the thing is stunted, then it like really doesn't do as well. Like especially in flower, you get like smaller flowers, and the whole thing just fills with it by the end, and it's very sad, actually. Honestly, it's really sad.
It's the worst when you put so much, like as you said, it's a lot of work. When you put so much effort into something, and then they just don't make it.
Absolutely. It is really devastating. And everybody who's grown for a few years knows that feeling. But the thing I'd say is that there's always life after death when it comes to plants. And, you have to take it on the chin, and just be like, all right, well, what did I take from that? And almost every time there's a really good lesson to have learned, and you come back a little stronger the next time,
That's exactly what we were talking about, actually. So this is bringing us back on track.
All right.
The lesson I'm learning from this is I kind of want to tissue culture my THCV. I want to bring her back from the dead, and I'm seeing that might be one of my few options. And in the background, I'm thinking, if I'm going to go through the work of isolating individual stem cells of the plant to start tissue cultures, I might as well mess around a little bit or think about messing around.
Wait. What are you doing? Tell me this. Walk me through what you're actually talking about here. You're going too fast for me. Taking tissue samples to what?
Do you know what tissue culture is?
Yeah, I understand, but so how are you going to pull it? Like, just tell me the process.
Okay. So if I'm going to tissue culture it, I can't. A lot of people don't understand tissue culture fully. A lot of people think it's just
don't.
A lot of people think it's just a small clone.
Okay.
Kind of. But you really want to isolate the atypical meristem, which has the stem cells of the plant. You want to get that very top tip growth that has not been infected by any viroids, any spores, hasn't been infected. It's clean, it's fresh. The only issues you might have is like maybe some radioactive decay within the RNA, but for the most part, that's like as clean as you can get for starting a plant fresh. But to do that, you have to actually isolate those stem cells of the plant. You have to make it's a clone on such a small scale. It's a clone like just tiny, like tip of.
We talking leaves here, or are we talking no? Yeah. So you have to keep it alive like you would a clone?
Okay.
Pardon my ignorance. All right.
I got extras. I mean,
well, within your limits.
So, you see this little bit of leaf material I have in the tip of my fingers?
Yeah.
Do you see that little bit of leaf material I have in my fingers?
Well, yeah, kind of.
You want like less than half of that.
Okay, so what do you do with it next? You take it and you do that, and then
you basically clone it. You're doing this. You're doing the same process of a clone, where you're getting it to divide and make new cells. But it's a lot more complicated in the fact that you're not just using B vitamins to stimulate root growth. You actually have to go through the different hormonal processes or signals to tell the plant to grow different forms of tissue.
Okay.
This would take a whole video in itself, but to break it down, you're taking a clone, but instead of being a whole branch, to break it down in the simplest form, instead of it being a whole branch, you're getting just the tip.
Just a tip?
Just the tip. And I mean the tip.
Okay. And so, what are you doing with it after you've done this? So you've figured. Okay, so yeah, maybe walk us through the exact process. You take the piece, and then what's next?
We're 100% talking about tissue culture right now for the buddy that tapped in.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again. The exact process?
Yeah, like what do you do? Okay, so you take the tissue culture, and then what are you doing with it after the fact?
You're getting it to grow into a new plant.
Really, from that tiny amount?
Yeah.
Holy snap! That's cool, man.
So, but I'm thinking if I'm going to go through the hard work of doing this, if I have individual cells isolated, there's a lot more I potentially could do. So some of the things I'm looking at would be your crown galls, which is a bacterium that infects plant tissue and inserts its own viral DNA. It's a tumor-causing plasmoid that it inserts into the plant tissue and causes it to grow these huge, like, warts, basically.
I think I saw a video on your channel about that.
One thing that's kind of cool is like that specific thing will be used by gene editors to put different genes into cells. And I'm thinking, if I'm going to go through there's the gold gun that I was talking to you about. That's about $2,000 if I don't make one out of the loom. But
wait, sorry, gold gun? Explain it. Tell me one more time.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
But I'm thinking if I'm going to be isolating these individual cells, I'm a mad. I like breeding. I like messing around. Maybe I might. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm thinking about if I'm able to. That's a big thing. That is the big thing. Is I have to make sure I'm dotting my I's, crossing my T's. I'm not putting anybody or any environment at risk or breaking any laws. I don't want to do that. But if I can, after looking into it, if I'm going to isolate these cells, there's potentially some other things I could do that I'm looking into.
Like what are you alluding to?
When you're gene editing, so if I were to gene edit these plants, if I were to look into some potential edit, so maybe powdery mildew resistance.
Oh, I see.
Isolating different metabolic pathways for cannabis or cannabinoid production.
Ooh.
That's how you would start. Is you would start with the individual stem cells. You would add in your new RNA, hopefully RNA, not DNA. That might be about most people listening. That's how you would start the process, is with those tissue cultures.
Wow. So that's the point of why you would take the tissue culture, though, is to do that, or why would you want to start
The main point.
that?
The main point I'm thinking about looking at this as an option is to get rid of the hop latent virus, because it is a triploid. Do you know about triploids?
No. Tell me about them.
Okay. Holy shit, man. Triploids are kind of unique in the fact that let me know if there's anything big on chat, because I'm nerding hard here. Triploid is, do you know what autism is?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be triploid in humans.
Okay.
Have you ever had a seedless watermelon?
Yeah.
That would be a triploid.
Gotcha.
Triploid is, you can use some different. I'm not going to tell you how to make them, even though it's just gout medication.
But it's basically where you do some kind of editing.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
Well, because I think with the watermelon thing, they they didn't genetically edit it, but they bred them.
It is a modification because it has multiple chromosomes.
I see.
So what they're doing is as the plant's growing. Anybody listening, please comment if I say anything wrong, because I'm going off the top of the dome with everything I say today. So
don't worry, it's all good, man.
I am a human.
Yeah.
The basic idea for triploid is you're using like a gout medication, similar to gout medication. You're using auxins and stuff to slow down the growth of a cell. So you know how cells, they reproduce by dividing. So one cell grows until it gets so big, and then it splits and divides into two cells. What you're doing with triploids is you're stopping that split from actually happening. So when the cell goes to divide into two different cells, it's stopped halfway through, and you end up with a cell that has multiple sets of chromosomes.
Continue.
And for breeders like me, and for commercial operations, some things that are nice about triploids is because you have multiple chromosomes, you end up having multiple genes expressing different things. So if you have genes responsible for certain metabolic pathways, like production of CBG or production of THCV, you can actually like double those up. You can get extra. You can, instead of having like one gene saying makes CBG, you get 3 saying makes CBG.
Interesting.
But
that
then there's also
really hard, man. How are you going to manage all that? You're so busy.
No. I got the triploid
back there. Oh,
I got the triploid. That THCV is a triploid. I could sprinkle pollen I could sprinkle pollen sacs all over her. I don't get seeds. It pisses me off as a breeder.
Really? Interesting.
That's another trait of triploids, is they tend to be sterile. So even if you have stray pollen in like hemp production or like the THCA production in the States, where they're growing these massive hemp fields, and then extracting the THCA from it, you can you don't get seeds when you're dealing with triploids as much, or they won't be as fertile, so they'll be underdeveloped.
I see. So do you have this with the same plant every time, or it's just this one time you're growing it that you're having this problem with it?
I got this THCV about 3 years ago, this Giganator from Grow the Revolution, the triploid. And since I got her, she's had the hop latent virus.
Whoa.
That's been a part of my regimen.
You're dedicated, man.
I am dedicated because I do really like her. She's like one of the few sativas that I don't think is just hemp. She's got a unique trait. She tastes like Fruit Loops, which is very nice. Oh. And for the buzz, it's almost like a cup of coffee in the morning. You know, it's just a little extra pick me up. It's been very nice medically. The guys that Grow the Revolution did a very good job. Their noxious cookies is also very good. It's been a pain in the butt because I want to get rid of her because she's sick, but at the same time, she's special.
I know you love her. Can't let her go. Well, it all sounds like you're turning it into a bit of a science experiment. As long as you don't go mad, we'll be all right.
So I don't know the laws. I'm not a lawyer, and this is a big thing. If anybody wants to say something, let me know. So for gene editing, I think it's a major safety issue, and it's something that we're not talking about, the potential dangers of how easily accessed it is for individuals like me or you or anybody watching. To give you an example, this is not a gene edit that happened, but this is a hybridization that happened on my property. I had a lemon balm cross with my local wild mint. And the first year it grew, I thought, cool. I got a mint or a lemon balm that is more acclimatized to my area, that grows twice as fast. Cool. Next year I happen to walk by and I go, wait, it came back all on its own. I didn't plant it. It just came back. And I started to think it's competing with my native varieties. You know, I have fireweed that grows native on my property. I have a lot of local native plants. This hybrid, it was competing with them. If I were to not, I torched this whole this whole patch of land. I torched it. I burnt the hell out of it with a massive amount of hay. I piled the hay so high and just lit a huge fire. I made sure that thing was never coming back. Damn. So one thing I worry about, and I got in the back of my mind with potential projects I'm working on, is I got to make sure I dot my I's, cross my T's, because if I'm going to mess around, I got to make sure I only mess around with the stuff that's going to affect what I'm doing. You know, if that makes sense?
A little bit. Expand.
I want to mess around, but I want to make sure I mess around safely. I
see. I think that's fair. Well, it sounds like you're onto some pretty clever stuff, man. I'm very interested in what you're saying. Ramul in the chat has been saying a bunch of stuff, so let me see if I can catch up here on what we've got, so I don't lose track of it like I did the last time we did a live together, man. Okay, so we got from the East Coast. Okay, he loves to grow hot peppers too.
I do selective breed. I'm looking at other things. I'm not doing it. I want to make that perfectly clear. I am not gene editing. I do not have a gold gun. I do not have any Krangol's specimens that I'm working with, but it's definitely something I'm looking into for the future.
Okay. Ramul just got his 4th set of true leaves emerging on his indoor grow. That's dope, man. Hopefully you can pop up here, Ramul, at some point and show us some things. And yes, I will drop the invite chat into the link. So if anybody wants to hop on, let me see if I can do that. We'd love to see some gardens. Indoor grows would be dope. I know the time of night doesn't allow for outdoor stuff as well, but I would be down to look at some outdoor stuff. How about you, man? Would you look at an outdoor garden right now?
I would love to see your plants.
I'll definitely show you my plants. I've actually I was working on my mic stand before this, like right up until that's why I was like pretty much late. I've been working on this mic stand. Did I show you this the last time?
No,
like,
you didn't.
So I had like a boom before, and I kind of hated it because it was squeaking. So I grabbed a branch from the backyard and I just cut it down, but I didn't have a place for my camera. So now when I walk around, I just stick the camera stand in this little hole, and so I can do the camera and the mic without having to unplug it all. Because we had that one when we did our live, I had to unplug and go between things, and it was just not working. So I decided to up my game. Trying to stay resourceful out here, you know.
I gotta ask, are you taking some influence from the Mendo Dope Boys? Any chance that's a stock from one?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it isn't. But I do want to do that, man. That was the best, man. Did you get used to watch Mendo Dope back when they first came out?
Yes, I was always jealous. Always, man.
That honestly is what mostly inspired me to like get into growing like multi-pound plants was those dudes, because I mean obviously they're growing in like the most idyllic conditions probably you could imagine, like in terms of like grow period of like they got a really long season and they're in Mendocino County, so everything's like really great for growing the Golden Triangle. So but it was just so inspiring to see guys who could grow so much from one plant. It's unbelievable. But yes, the one that you're referencing is the mic stand plant. That was the one that was like the 20-foot tall plant, right?
They've had a few over the years for the
original one.
They did have that one in the backyard that was just fucking tall and stretchy, though. Yeah,
they had like giant ladders to trim it and stuff, and it was just one stalk the whole way up.
I don't know if that one came from Subcooler or not, but they definitely got some OG, some old school genetics up there.
Oh yeah, those guys are dope. But yeah, I love Mendo Dope, and yes, I am gonna. So one mad, yeah, for sure. And so I have in the backyard one of the stalks on my outdoor plants is like grown into a big old like octopus, but the stalk like down at the base is like gigantic. So I was gonna cut it off like pretty flush and then make that like the base of this, and then have like the octopus arms be like what it sits on.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if it's gonna work, man. But no, and the compost monsters are kind of like got that that tall look, so I might just keep trimming them up so that I can get a big old like stake. But I don't know if it's gonna be thick enough. That's the problem. We'll see. But yes, very inspired by the Mendo Dope Boys.
So you're talking about the one you got in the swamp that's not split?
No, not split, but I just mean like branched out. The one in the back, it's just like the
okay, gotcha.
The branching has got like a really nice like octopus kind of like look to it, because there's like pretty big side branches coming off of the main stem. So if I could make that like the base, like I'll cut off the roots, flip it upside down, and then put the mic on top.
What about if you did it the other way and you had like the different branches of different holders? So like a rope flip and
something for my vape. Gotta have a vape holder. Yeah, that would be dope, man. I'm into it. Well, clearly, as you can tell, I'm into all sorts of crazy creative projects, so I'm down, man.
Pardon my apologies, chat, but I'm severely dyslexic. So if I'm missing any of your comments, I apologize. But for one of the comments there about curing HLB, sadly, that's not something that I see as feasible at the moment. There's some treatments and stuff, but the only way to cure it is tissue culture. That's the only way that we have available at the moment.
It looks like Ramul's trying to get up here to show us his garden, and maybe Edwards is as well, unless he's saying something else. Let me see if I could fix that. I don't know how to, but possibly there's a way. You got onto it okay there, Moonbeam, eh?
Yeah, that link you gave me was perfect. It took me about 2 seconds just to allow the cookies and stuff, and yeah.
Hold on one sec. Pardon me? Yeah, we're trying to get the link to work, but I think it is working. I just don't know if these guys are. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Maybe it's just Edwards. Why don't you drop up here, man? We'd love to see your grow, and then we could test out this link. Let us know if it works, man.
I can show some of my clones out until Edward does
man.
pop up. I still got
Yeah,
my
please.
THCV here in a mason jar, actually. Surprisingly,
Oh.
I don't know if anybody's seen my shorts or not, but I use these foam cubes. They work great.
Nice.
And then use the plastic wrap at the top. It allows a little bit of airflow.
So every time I'll show you, but I just have like a cloning station, like those like Airstone with like the water, and then you got like a top for all the plugs to go in. Have you ever seen one of those?
They work great. They work great. I would use that myself if it wasn't for the fact I gotta make sure she doesn't infect anything.
Oh, I see. So you got to keep it isolated. Yeah, I used to do all the humidomes and all the things, but I just found it so annoying. I'm like, you got to be on it. If you got a moment where it's like things aren't ideal, and then you get a little bit of like mildew or whatever, it's just like things just get destroyed. I find you don't even really need to like. I also find they don't use as much nutrients like when you clone them like this. I don't know what it is. Probably the pH is like dialed in as well, but like they don't go yellow on me. Like these clones just get going and then plant them in. They're pretty good to go. I mean, for the $150 I spent, it's taken all the stress out of like having to deal with cloning.
That have you seen that new AC Infinity cloner?
No, what's that?
They've got a really dialed in clone dome for. It's almost like one of the smart control systems where you can actually control a lot of different variables. Something I've been looking at.
Like nutrients and such?
I don't know if they have injectors or not for dialing in your parts per million or whatnot, or trans 12 solids. But it's definitely got like when your air stones turn on and stuff like that.
Okay, cool, man. Well, just checking out the chat here. So it sounds like Ramul can't jump up, unfortunately. Ramul, we'll get you up here one day, man. No problem. Edwards is here. Thanks, buddy Edwards, for coming in. Thanks for everybody that's coming in and watching. We're just getting cooking here. We're gonna show off I'll show off my plants for sure. It's a little dark out, but we'll get some lights going, maybe some flashlight action. And I also got a massive feeding for the worms. I don't know, man. Do you want to see some worms again tonight?
I'm always scared that you're going to end up giving me worms.
Oh, I'm going to give you worms so bad, man. Hey, check this out, man. I got a hunt, like a bee textbook from my sister. She went to school for like biology, and she gave me like this straight up university textbook on how they live in nature and in human service. So I'm going to learn all about bees. It's very very dense, but it goes through everything about the bee, like every damn thing about it. So I'm about to become a bee expert. And actually, while I'm on the topic, I'm going to have an interview with a guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. His name's Michael, but there will be a post about it, and he's going to be on the show next Friday. And he's been a beekeeper for like 20 years. And his channel's pretty dope. Let me see if I can actually find it while I'm yapping about it. So next Friday will be a bee dedicated episode. You gonna be there, man?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Maybe you can hop in with me and ask some questions of this young chap.
So it's a bee dedicated episode. Have you felt healthier since you had your bees?
Well, I haven't really been eating the honey, but in what way?
This might be some crackpot stuff, but like,
okay, let's hear it. Let's hear your crackpot stuff.
I've heard about a statistic that's kind of alarming. Is beekeepers have a longer lifespan on average than non-beekeepers.
Interesting. Well, I would imagine that there's some like other things going on in beekeepers' lives that might not be like, obvious. Like, I mean, they obviously probably eat better than the rest of most people in society because obviously they're taking on a hobby that's like pretty down to earth, so maybe they eat organic, maybe they're eating like healthy things. Like, is there something we could identify that would be like beekeepers without other dietary things are healthier, or is it just you think it's just the bees being around you?
I'm more on your side of things, where it's
Right.
probably some outlying factors that we're not considering.
Well, what I would say, yeah, go on.
The crackpot theory is that the vibration of the wings does something to the cells.
The cells of the person?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you, man, when you go really close to the hive, you can feel the damn thing humming. Like it feels like you want to give it a hug because it feels warm, and like you can feel around the hive, and then right at the entrance, you can feel like a warm air blasting out. And it's very peaceful. It's very peaceful. I'll tell you that much.
It's good to know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so we'll have a whole bee episode, so it's gonna be super dope. I actually was looking up some interesting bee news. There's this this story I saw in Australia about them the farmers there, the beekeepers want to make. I want to read this because I was like actually quite interested in it. So you know about the Verona mite in bees?
No, I've never heard of that.
So this is like the most common problem that beekeepers face, and this is like a mite. Let me just read about it so I don't mess it up. It's an external parasite that attacks and feeds on honeybees and is one of the most damaging honeybee pests in the world. So basically, if I'm not remembering right, it like is a mite that grows inside of them. Ooh. As I recall. Let me just see though. Like I don't want to say that without actually saying that's what it is. No, it's just like a mite, but basically it really harms your honey hive, and you end up losing the whole hive, and all the honey is like useless too. So as beekeepers, we have to like test for them. So when we went to the store to buy the bee thing, he's like, you're gonna have to deal with this probably. You have to test them every once in a while, and you basically have to take like a little canister and you put the bees in it. And then you have to put like a whole bunch of bees. I think it's like 20 to it's some amount that you're supposed to put in, an exact amount. So it's the same sample. And then it's like a solution that you put with them and you shake it all up. You kill all the bees, unfortunately, in the sample, but the mites shake out. And then depending on what the concentration is, you have to like take other measures to treat the Varroa mites. I think it's pronounced Varroa. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. So in Australia, though, this is like a bigger deal because here, I'm trying to pull it up here. Okay, so the short story is basically food production in Australia is worth tens of billions of dollars and relies on honeybees to pollinate crops. Beekeepers are asking the federal government to expand access to organic treatments to manage the deadly Varroa mite. Beekeepers are only allowed to use organic treatments once a year, which they say is leaving many industries vulnerable. So the short thing is that the organic treatment is like really cheap to make, and you can do it often, but it's not as effective. And so the government is limiting them from being able to use the organic treatment because they want to use. Yeah,
I'm sure you don't want to build resistance as well.
Well, exactly. They do talk about that as well. But they're building resistance to the synthetic, like the chemical treatment faster, apparently. So anyways, they're like, it's a whole thing, and they're asking for the government to give them a bunch of funding to basically stop this, to get them more treatments that are organic to help them through this whole situation, I suppose. But these are the kinds of questions I'm going to ask the bee guy next week when he's up, is how to treat this kind of stuff, because even here in North America, we deal with it. And I'm actually kind of terrified because it sounds like they're going to kill my bees.
That would be something to be scared of.
So what's holding you back from getting bees? Are you going to get some bees? When are you getting bees?
I'm thinking I probably will next summer. I'm thinking. It's tempting.
Are you scared of the bites?
No, I'm not scared of bug bites, man. You're probably seeing fruit flies. I overwatered my clones here. I need to.
So you can do it.
Mosquito bits in my soil. I'm definitely thinking about it. There's a German guy, I believe, who was putting bottles in trees. I was watching some of his videos for, I don't know. So my thing is like, I'm really into the gardening, and you kind of hear about how much of a struggle it is, some of the work I put into it. I don't know if I got the time to really be separating wax and sifting out the honey, but for supporting my local populations, it's becoming more and more something on my mind, definitely.
Yeah. I was
That
also
makes sense.
reading a thing. Yeah, totally, man. I mean, hey, it helps pollinate things. That's the whole point of it. I was just reading another article that was kind of interesting about beekeepers in Gaza who are like devastated since the war. They went from 30,000 um, hives down to 700, and it's like not only a problem for the fact that they don't have the honey, but they basically can't pollinate the farm fields because there's not enough bees. So it's really interesting. It's like it's actually like a negative feedback cycle. Like there's not enough bees, there's not enough the pollinators, and it's
And
basically making it unable to get out of the situation.
is it the war, or is it like the
Mhm.
fumes or
Well,
things
the
that
fields, no, the fields are off limits because basically they're like war areas. A lot of the fields are near the Israeli border. And so they're like off limits for people. So they're not allowing the beekeepers to go into these areas. And so the fields are like dying, the bees are dying, and it's like impossible. You need a starting point to get those things moving together. So they're basically looking for support to get bees and get like access. So a lot of people are putting hives up on roofs and stuff to help support the bee population. That's pretty interesting, eh?
well, they do say
It's
without our
terrible.
bees, they do say without our bees, we're not far behind, right?
With other
So,
bees, sorry, say that again.
sorry, I might be using an analogy. They say that without the bees to do the pollination of all our crops and stuff, we as a species wouldn't survive ourselves. So it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense that,
Yeah, exactly. So
you know,
there you go, man.
that actually brings up something I've been thinking about too. Is you're worried about your bees and like some of the external factors that are affecting them. Do you have any issues with pesticides or glyphosates in your area?
Like that the bees are gonna go into them?
Be affected by?
Maybe. I mean, fuck, I don't even know, man. This is why I gotta have this bee guy up next Friday. He's gonna ask him. That's why you gotta be there, man. You're gonna help me ask him these questions. I
So,
don't know.
so
I actually don't know.
I put a post up recently about whether or not your plants are being poisoned. It was a kind of clickbaity video in the title, but it is actually a topic we should definitely be talking about as cannabis growers or
Mhm.
beekeepers. Is our local municipalities and our government systems use a lot of pesticides that we'd be unaware of. So I'm up in the mountains myself, but I do have neighbors who have cattle, and they also do hay. And I don't believe they're spraying, but there's the possibility of maybe airplanes flying over spraying. Or for you, are you in a city or are you out of town?
I'm in a city.
For
I'm in
you in a
Hamilton.
city. Oh, so for in the city, you've
My bees
got
are mostly, yeah, go on.
you've got trucks driving up and down your back alleys and your roads spraying pesticides constantly.
Well, you mean on grasses and things of that nature?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But at the same time, we're in a neighborhood, and so I would say we're not really close to like farmers' fields, where I think that would probably be a lot worse. Like for the bees, like they spray crops like with pretty heavy fertilizers, or sorry, insecticides and things of that nature. Things that are like just probably not great for bees. But I don't know, especially because they don't typically spray like gardens because you obviously want, and I think bees in cities are mostly collecting from gardens. Like I was looking it up, and it's like they basically will travel up to 3 kilometers from their home, but they usually stay within a kilometer. So if I made a kilometer circle around me, it's just houses. So the chances are that they're probably getting most of their pollen from people's flowers, like things that.
Is there any public, how do I put this? You know how roundabouts will have like flowers and different plants kind of in center of the roundabout? Is there anything like that, or like public?
Oh yeah, there's tons of shit like that.
They're spraying in your area.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I just mean, like, if you had a beehive in the middle of a farmer's field and that whole farmer's field was sprayed, right? That would be probably the worst case scenario for a beekeeper.
So I posted a post the other day, and it was for anybody watching. It's something we should keep in mind as gardeners or breeders or anybody who's taking care of anything, whether it's plants or animals. We don't know what our town is doing around us, and a lot of times. And I posted a video. It wasn't my video. It was another channel's video, and sadly I can't remember her name at the moment. She's not a cannabis gardener. She grows a lot of different garden crops, like zucchinis, and surprisingly enough, she has castor beans. But that'd be cyanide production. Anyways,
that's cool. Why would she need those?
I don't know. But anyways, she put a video up about are your plants being poisoned? And her plants, so she had a lot of zucchinis and marigolds and stuff like that. And she noticed there was like the stems weren't developing properly. They were kind of curving and they were stretching. They were really elongated.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought attention to the fact that as gardeners, sometimes your neighbor could be doing something that could affect your place.
Mm-hmm.
She had people spraying pesticides through her back alley, which was an auxin, which was causing different growth in the auxins are a PGR, they're a plant growth regulator, so they affect the growth of the plant in weird ways.
Yeah, that's how you top. Isn't auxin the thing that's in the plant that tells it where the top is?
When you're topping, you're redirecting the auxins, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, yeah.
This would be adding external auxins.
I see. Yeah, well, no, for sure, man. And honestly, in that area where that swamp grow is, the thing that drives me nuts is that people spray their entire properties via like helicopters and stuff, and they spray the whole thing. And we're in the middle of like a very, I'd say, a sensitive ecosystem because we're like right on the water everywhere you look there. Like it's, but beyond that, you're killing off all these critters that are part of these trophic levels that get demolished, and it has such a massive impact on the other trophic levels. And like these people are all like pretending like they're super environmentalists, having cottages in the woods and caring about all this shit, and then they spray pesticides all over the whole damn property. It's like, it blows my mind just to have a lawn. Like it's unbelievable. I feel like we share the same frustration.
It is a frustration. I understand it. I understand. So like you got your swamp grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it the other day. I love your swamp grow. I watch it. I'm on that. Like as soon as you post it, I'm pretty much watching it right away.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I mean it. It's not just riding your, like I sincerely mean that.
Thanks, man.
You were talking about, I noticed how much you're trimming, and like I could see you almost your heart breaking every time you cut off one of those huge branches. And you're like, this could be something, but I know it's at this point where it's at a high humidity, it's a risk of powdery mildew and mold and botrytis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of curious, like, so you're saying that those are over you. Is there any other than your preventative measures of cutting off branches? Have you thought about using any other products or things?
Well, typically, yes, but I'm trying to keep the swamp thing to be very like, okay, like what would you do? It's almost like a survival situation. It's like you got to use what you have available. And I could do some things like I would use like water with peroxide and like pre-spray, or like sorry, not peroxide, what is it? Or yeah, you could use peroxide, right, to like help prevent powdery
Adding
mildew, or
oxygen.
baking soda like mixed with water and like spraying it on the plants like ahead of flower to like prevent it from from setting in, right?
Yep.
But for me, it's like I feel like I want to make that grow more like whatever happens, happens. Like if we can't do it with what we got, then so I want to like test out the limits of that. And I really do think if you get the plants up high and you have them pretty well trimmed underneath, you got sun hitting them first thing in the day, which I think is really important with powdery mildew, is that you have something to burn off that moisture at the beginning of the day. And this is an early finisher. So, if I can get through that like September period, I might make it. So I do think I would do some stuff, but I typically I try to keep it somewhat like the only thing I ever really need to do is, yeah, go for it.
You're hitting the nail on the head for something I don't like to talk about. So as YouTubers, we're showing our product, we're showing our stuff, right? Like the things that we're putting our time and effort, our passion into. And we don't want that to be a bad representation of us. But you're saying, like, as a breeder, this really hits the nail on the head for me, because when I'm breeding my stuff, I have to push them to the limits to know what's going to make it, what's going to make the cut for what I'm going to use next year. And it kind of sucks because, like, sometimes I'm doing stuff I shouldn't be doing because I got to see if it can handle it. And you're really hitting the nail on the head. So you are taking that loss. You're sacrificing what could be your medicine to make it better in the overall run.
Well, what I like to do in this province, especially, I haven't grown any other provinces, but I just notice every year the biggest thing for us is like mildew and mold and botrytis and things like that, where you're just like, okay, I got to basically pick the right strain, which is why I'm like really into your channel, because you're really dialed in on how to like actually figure out how to do it. So for me, if I have an experiment where it's like a super humid environment and I could make it work there, well, it's probably going to work somewhere where it's not that bad. Like if I take that into my backyard and it does well, or sorry, if it does really well there and I take that to my backyard, it's going to do amazing. So there's a part of it for me that's like purely science. And worst case scenario, you make a bunch of hash. So like,
there you go. Fucking right. So
like,
you know the deal. You know the drill.
Dude, I making hash is amazing. I'm going to get into that in this winter with videos and stuff, because bubble hash is such a magical product, but there's so many ways to make hash, and like honestly, that's a whole fun thing to do as well. It can be exhausting as well, but like, I think there's a lot. A lot happens to a lot of people.
We're in Canada. It gets cold. It's not too bad.
Oh, it's really great for making hash in the winter. Bubble hash in the winter is one of my favorite activities. Around a fire, you got the fire going, but then you got the bubble hash hanging in the tree in the background. You don't even have to worry about ice. The whole place is freezing. Just like you just take your ice cube trays out of the freezer, throw a couple ice cubes in, and you're good to go. So yeah, for me, it's like I want to have fun with it, so I don't care that much. But I do think I might do something like I might spray it with something like ahead of flower, just to be like, okay, here's some baking soda mixed with water. Right? Like you could use peroxide as well, right? I think there's two kind of like ways of doing it. Or like, what would your suggestions be if I was to do it?
I like paying homage to people that I've watched or learned from in the past. I don't know if you've ever heard of Scotty Real. He's a YouTuber. He grows bamboo. He grows these really tall, long, stemmy bamboo. He's got a beautiful, I think it's Cinderella 99 plant. I think it might be in the hash plant. I don't know. It's apparently pretty good though. He talks about ozone, which might be a bit potentially bad because it does do damage to like your nasal passageways and stuff. There's some things to definitely keep in mind with ozonated water. But peroxide would be kind of along the same lines. You're adding that oxygen in. There's also, I remember, I think actually I might have learned it from his channel. I'm not too sure if it was him or the dude. They're both great guys. It's their channels. He was talking about electrolyzed water.
I don't know if I can pull that off from the swamp. You make it ahead of time, I presume.
I can't remember what it's called. If it's O3. Oh, fuck me, man. Pardon my language. My apologies, everybody.
You're fine to swear, man. It's all good. Don't worry.
There's something that's just kind of space in my mind right now. There's something about a different kind of water where it is H2. I don't want to say H2O, but it is basically water. You're not adding anything to it whatsoever. And it was a potential option for changing the pH of the leaf.
Yeah, well, I think that's what you do with the baking soda method, is that you just change the pH to the point that the thing can't grow on it. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm probably not going to do that. But did you see? I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get into it. I think I'm going to wait till I have a problem. Typically, what I do is I like get it to a point where I'm like, it's perfect, and I kind of am like, most of the time I don't get powdery mildew. So I'm hoping I don't, especially because it's done in September. But did you see the end of the video where I showed off the new spot where I'm going to do next year?
Oh shit! Wow.
You missed it. You missed the bonus content, man. You said you were on it.
I am on it. I'm trying to
think. So basically, at the very end of the video, we show this like raspberry bush or some raspberries. Remember, I was telling you about the Canadian Shield?
Yeah.
And it's like a big rocky outcrop. Well, this is that spot. So it's just a big rock in the middle of the woods, and it's just like tall trees all around, except for this maybe 100 feet across patch, and it's all on rock though, but it has a slope to it. So there's a spot that's kind of like maybe it'll get about 7 hours of light, and so like, but direct light, nothing in the way, and it's on bedrock, so there's not going to be much, and it's on up away from the swamp area. It's about 100, maybe like 80 or 60 feet up from there. So it's like going to be a drier area, presumably. Maybe it'll be damp because of the forest environment. I'm not sure. But I'm going to like build the pot up, and then I'm going to have a drip like system set up with water catchers all behind it. So check that out, man. And I want to see your feedback on the zone.
I think I did see it. I'm just kind of spacing on it right now a little bit. So the Canadian Shield is on that rock slab by the raspberry bush. I know I seen that raspberry bush.
You saw it probably in a previous one too. That's okay, man. That's okay. But I also do want to do the beaver dam grow. So I'm going to try to check that out because I'm going to do one or the other. So
for your swamp grow, do you have a lot of over canopy coverage, or is it direct sunlight?
Direct sunlight all day long, like from morning until night. Nothing in the way.
Do you ever notice a difference in your trichome development based off of? Oh, sorry, this might be a little nerdy.
Like based off like light, like photo period.
One thing that I'm kind of tripping about is with this whole under canopy lighting that everybody's getting onto right now. Is one thing So I used to trim. I used to go chop wood for a buddy all the time, right? And I would notice when I was working with these girls that were pretty tall. The underbuds, the ones that were underdeveloped, the trichome production was different. So when you're talking about direct light 7 hours a day on that one plant, that direct light, is it coming at what stage in your day? Would it be beginning of day?
Right. You're talking about the swamp grow? Because the swamp one, okay, with the swamp one, I'm getting like almost like 6 a.m. until 7 or 8 p.m. right now. That one is like just
straight fucking red.
Well, that's why it's so great, because it is probably a very moist environment. But the thing with powdery mildew is, as long as you get through the morning, you're good. So if you're up high and you're getting some breeze and it's sunny always, then you're not going to have water hanging out.
Do you know about your different light spectrums in the day from your reds and your blues?
I don't know actually. What I would imagine the more concentrated would be like shorter wavelength. So when it's like directly above, you're going to have a shorter wavelength. Is that correct?
This is something. This is this is one of those tricks you learn by watching them. Fuck, I might get a little. My Canadian accent might come out here for a second.
Oh fuck, bud, man, let it out, bud.
When you're watching them, ladies, sometimes. Okay, so the beginning of your day, your day starts out fairly blue spectrum in the more whiter light,
So
and then
longer wavelength.
as it shifts, it's going towards that more red spectrum.
That kind of makes sense.
And this is strange. Fuck. So I don't like saying this because it's not yes or no. This is strain specific. Sometimes with different cultivars, they're a little more sensitive to those different spectrums. So you might have a plant that's getting straight all day, every day, direct sunlight, in which case it's going to be getting the blue in the day and then the red at the night or midday. And that red is a really good in production for weight. So like in photosynthesis, your red spectrum is definitely going to produce higher numbers than your blue. But your blue has a higher UV content on average. So you might get more crystal, potentially strain specific or cultivar specific. You might get more crystal production with more of those wider spectrums. And this is another one where you're you're starting to talk about the needle hitting the head. Is I breed with photoperiod and autoflowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I tested my first generations, my first populations, if anybody watches my videos, there's a few people who I think might be watching. They're good people. I used to grow in a greenhouse, which was on the back side of one of my goat sheds. So it didn't get that
in one of your videos, yeah.
It didn't get the morning sun. It didn't get the morning sun. Sometimes I think the morning sun might be bad. Anyway, that white spectrum, definitely not getting that white spectrum, more of that red spectrum, definitely helped with flower production for speeding up that process. But that said, if you're all reds and no blues, your crystal production might lack. It's strain specific. Not all strains might be affected the same way. And like there is research to show this. When you start getting those higher or those UVs, those more blues, you can bring out more trichome production. So like my first generations, I had my purple quartz, my first one that really triggered early. I moved it from one spot to another in different seasons. And I noticed this one finished, this one didn't. And I'm like, the exact same clone, exact same genetics. You know, what are the variables here? You can find some cultivars that can still trigger early under those blue spectrums that are gonna. So even though you might not be getting direct sunlight, you can have your under canopy. So you might have a little bit of shade from your treetops and whatnot. You can still pull some pretty good.
Interesting. So you think though that this growing out in a very open spot gives it a wider spectrum, which probably is overall a benefit to the plant, no?
For yield, yes. You're gonna pull so much more weight when you're getting those red spectrums.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing and why I think it's a cool experiment. You know, you get a whole range of topics you can look at in one thing. Yeah, man. Well,
sorry, that was a little nerdy of me, but your new spot on the shield, you're saying it's going to get 7 hours. Do you know if that's morning or evening?
It's like it's kind of like a forest. So you'd imagine that you're just like looking up into a cut in a forest, like a clear cut type thing. Like it's just like tall trees all around where there is soil, and then as soon as it hits the rock, there's like nothing. So It's kind of like having a big patio out in the middle of the wood. So everything is like cut off at the side. So it's probably like 10 a.m. or like 9 a.m. get sun, and then it's probably by like 5 or 6 that it's like cut off.
Good to know. Good to know. So I didn't send you your package today, but I'm hoping tomorrow I send it out. But that is
All right.
good,
Really?
good to know.
Okay. You're sending it. Okay. Dope, man. Well, maybe send me something specifically. I'd love to grow it out there. I don't know though. That's the thing. I was questioning whether I should do something too experimental with an experiment, or I should go a more, reliable route with something I've done that I know is pretty mold resistant in that area. Like I was thinking about doing Gorilla Glue next summer.
Your
out in that
swamp, that's a difficult spot.
I know.
Gorilla Glue, personally, you said that's been resistance for you in the past?
I grew it in a very wet environment, like on a lake for a few years in a row, and I never got powdery mildew.
Okay. I got stuff that would handle it.
Okay, perfect. I'll grow it. What would you think would be the right pick from what you got?
I always recommend my purple quartz because she's my hardiest girl. She is, whether or not you want a photo period or an autoflower version, I can give you both. I will give you both.
What's the photo period length for flower?
She's very good. She's very good. So she has the tangy on most phenotypes. My personal favorite my favorite phenos out of the bunch lean more to that alfalfa kind of. Do you know what alfalfa smells like? I don't mean hay. Because a lot of people, when I say this, a lot of people think hay, and I don't mean hay. There's
alfalfa sprouts, or just alfalfa seed.
No, the flower, that purple.
Oh no, I don't know.
It's a very floral taste. It's not gas. Like I got. Nice. This is one of your packs right here, actually.
Oh damn.
This one right here, this is just straight gas. This is like a garlicky, like GMO, like it's actually my
amazing.
But I'll hook you up with a couple of beans of his. This one I don't know if is gonna handle those areas so well.
I see.
She's got a lot of that. She's really tight. She's really round. She's not shedding the water off the same.
Would it be good for a indoor grow?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, there you go. We got our winner. What's the name of that strain? That's the purple quartz.
No. This one, not mine. I can't take credit for anything. This is a personal best. This is or PBR, peanut butter breath.
Nice.
Something like that.
Okay. All right.
This is special. But you'll find that out.
Can't wait, man.
The purple quartz, she's great. She's not kush, but she's very sweet. Candy, flowery, beautiful. Purple. And if you don't get the alfalfa version, you get a very tangy, citrusy Asian orange.
I love that. That's amazing, man. My mouth is watering. I'm excited. I want to just play around with it. That I was actually going to ask you, but I do want to I want to ask about how I should, because I want to start the breeding thing. You said you're going to send me some kind of silver.
Yeah, solution. I'm going to be sending you some colloidal silver.
I can't wait for that.
I'm cooking that up literally just before I send it off. So that'll be later tonight that I actually start bubbling it off, like doing the electrolysis.
I can't wait, man. Thanks again. And yeah, I have the clones going in the kitchen that are both the Thin Mint and the Bubblegum Kush right now. So I have like multiple of each. So I probably will just, yeah.
A big thing I want to mention. When you spray your plant, this is going to contradict some of the stuff I've said in the past when it comes to autoflowers. But when you're spraying your photo period plants, try to pick one clone that you're going to spray. or 2 clones, like one of each, one of your thin mints, one of your bubba.
Okay. Just spray them both. Yeah, well, I was going to do that. I have like 12
But you know
clones.
what I mean is like have a clone for the male. Don't have, how to explain this? Fuck. Okay, so I don't know your numbers of how many clones you'll have or whatnot when you're doing this, but make sure that you're not getting seeds from the same plant that you sprayed.
I see.
So if you're topping it or doing like one branch, it's not so bad if you spray that and then you use that pollen to pollinate other branches. But you don't want to have a branch that's both male and female.
I gotcha.
That
Makes
has,
sense.
because
I get
those
it.
seeds would end up terrible. You don't want those.
Interesting. That's really interesting. I didn't really think about it because I thought one of the things is you put the bag over it and you just, oh no, but that's when you, okay, that's just to keep the pollen in. So you would take that and then put it on a different branch on the same plant, or is it not a no-go on this? It is okay on the same plant, no? But a different branch.
It's like an
Okay, so
you know how people say don't transplant an auto? This is kind of like don't transplant an auto. It's like if that branch has been sprayed, don't collect seeds off of it. That's just your best way to go, because you don't
I'm
want
saying don't use that one, but a different branch you could use. Like you take the pollen from that and put it on the same plant but different branch. You're fine. Better to go to another plant.
Be very careful that it's not near the site of where you sprayed it, because the last thing you want is a bean developing where the silver has been sprayed.
I see.
Because that'll give you some of the worst hermaphrodites of your life.
Interesting. Okay. This is the deep secrets of breeding we're learning here. I like it, man.
I with my autoflowers, you can't like, one of my biggest gripe with the breeders out in the market right now is they don't pheno hunt their autos. They have one male that they pollinate their females with. And what happens is you're getting 2 different phenotypes pollinating, so your genetic diversity is much higher. Versus if you were to take an autoflower, you top it, so you get your 2 branches, and you have one branch that's male, one branch that's female. When you isolate your phenos, when you're doing your selective processes as a breeder, you're picking just that pheno to spread its lineage. So it's not open. It's not open pollination. You're being a lot more selective on your which phenos you're picking from.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
so it might be useful for me to collect the pollen and then cross it against some other plants that I could buy seeds of that were separate, or I could use the same mother. No, don't use the same mother plants because it's the same genes, basically.
The best course of option is if you're someone who's getting into this, just so you don't have any risks. It's like don't transplant an auto. Yeah, you can transplant an auto, but you might fuck up. The best course of action for somebody who's getting into this is have one clone that's going to be your male clone, or like one plant that's your male plant. That's the best way to go.
Okay, but an actual male, so you'd want to get regular seeds and like
no.
Oh, just like the pollen is the male.
Pollen's coming from one plant.
Yeah, I got it.
You're not pollinating the same. You don't have a female plant being pollinated by herself. Does that make sense? You can have 2 separate clones, one pollinating itself, but they're not connected by stem. So that way they're not exchanging the nutrients through the cells.
Another deep secret of breeding with Moonbeam Charles here. I like it. I like it. This is the kind of stuff I want to know. Do you want me to?
Some people will say colloidal silver is bad for Hermes. That's why they'll go with silver phosphate versus colloidal silver. And I personally think that's a misconception. It's people doing improper. It's not good production practices. That's bottom line. Is they're not thinking about the variables ahead of time. And they sprayed the same plant that they got the seed from, and that's why they have Hermes.
Gotcha. There's a couple things here in the chat we should probably take a look at here. So Habitual Hobbies is back, which is wonderful to see you back. I hope you're still out there. I checked out your channel. Super dope channel. You got it going on. I love all the things you're doing. Did you check out her channel by any chance? She's got a really cool channel. It's all very garden related, but cool stuff.
Habitual hobbies. I'm having issues bringing up the chat right now. 1 second here.
Yeah, that's okay. The other thing here is Brad is in the chat from Queensland again, down in Australia, which you'd love to see. Brad's been around with us. He's been on the show a couple times, which is pretty cool. Showing us he lives on an old banana plantation in Australia, and he lives in like a bush like craft house. He's like fashioned a pretty cool little like outdoorsy like living situation. It's quite nice, and he has a huge pond and there's like a beautiful place to grow. It's pretty cool, man. He was talking about like positioning his plants. And he was like, that's in the south down there, and it's facing north, so I'm gonna plant there. And I was like, whoa, what, dude? Totally different than us up here. Tripped me out for a second.
That trips me out because I always think southern facing. I don't know if it's backwards over there.
It is backwards over there, man. That's exactly what it is. He was like literally positioning it to face
cool,
north.
Brad. Cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Check out Brad's channel.
Yeah, check out Brad's channel. He's living like a very Australian outback life, and he's doing really cool stuff. Greetings from Puget Sound, from Spinny 850. Nice, man. Thanks for coming in. Anybody who's coming in, appreciate y'all being here. What you want to go check out my outdoor situation, bud? Let's
see your worms there, bud.
Do you want to see worms, or do you want to see cannabis plants and worms? And
one of the best parts about your channel is, can't we see both?
We can see them together. I've made sure of that.
Let's go for it.
Yeah,
is it going to reach? Man. Is it going to reach?
So I tested it out well between the last time you were been here, and it works well. There's like a break. I have these like hubs that project the internet to like a couple different spots of the house. And I bought those last week, installed them or whatever. But there's like a point where you go through between the house and the outside where it doesn't work. And then as soon as you get past it, it works just as well as the house. So we're going to test it out. But I did try it out on the last live I did on Saturday. So, but you're going to have to do some rambling while I get into getting outside mode. So I will I will leave it to you. This is like you got full license to ramble about whatever's on your mind related to cannabis or gardening.
Is there any could I ask a huge favor on your end, because I'm actually having huge technical difficulties. Could I ask you just to throw up some of the best comments for me to ramble on?
The best comments. Oh, on here. Yeah, I can put one up here. Let's see what we got.
Thank you.
Okay, so this actually is a pretty funny thing. What do you think about this?
My transplanted autos grew larger than directly sown grown. Okay. This is perfect. I would love to ramble on this. What's your name there, bud?
Edwards.
Okay, Edwards. If you want me to ramble, I got it. Edwards, transplanting autos. It's one of those things where it's like you don't know, because if you're a beginner gardener and you go to transplant an auto, if you get the slightest bit of root bound of that taproot, you can run into some of the hugest issues. You could have an autoflower that starts flowering at maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. But for someone who actually knows what they're doing, which I'm sure you are, Edward, you seem like a pretty decent guy. As long as you're keeping ahead of that taproot and you're not letting it start to circle around itself, you're not allowing it to start getting root bound, you got good mycorrhiza going on, keeping those roots inoculated, transplanting is a little more optional. It's exact same as what I'm talking about with Worm Hole Junction here, with spraying your plants with colloidal silver, in the fact that, yes, it's possible. You can use a mother plant, spray one branch, and have her pollinate the rest. But if you're not careful, if you're not somebody who's been doing this and aware of the potential hazards that are at play, like autoflowers with the root bound and their roots tangling around the bottom of that cup or cell or whatever you have them in, there are some issues. So if your plant does start to root bound, kind of sucks if you get an autoflower that you only get a joint off of. But if you're ahead of it and you're on top of it, it's totally possible to transplant an auto. It's also totally possible to spray one branch of a mother to pollinate the rest. It's one of those things you got to be careful. You don't want to tell somebody who's new something that's going to destroy their whole harvest. Oh wow.
Are you able to see this?
Yeah, I am. It's pretty dark out, bud.
It fucking really is, man. Yeah, it's 11, or no, it's like, what is it, 1 o'clock here? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. But the plants are coming in real nice, man. Are you able to see it or no?
It's perfect. No lag, no nothing.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, you got to get beyond the wall of no internet. But yeah, they're kind of really into the sort of pre-flower phase. So I can't really show exactly where we're at, but starting to get their hairs popping up. And I have this big chasm going on in the middle, but they're working pretty good. So yeah, my goal here is to let these get a little bit tall. I'm not training them anymore. I'm just basically let them get up, and I just keep trimming out stuff underneath. So yeah, this one's got a gigantic, this is the one I was telling you about that I wanted to make the mics, like the base of the mic stand with.
Okay.
But it's a little bit wild, so I don't know if I can make it happen. But yeah, it's like ginormous, the stock on it. I don't know what I'm expecting on this. Maybe like £1.5 pounds. I'm not sure. But yeah, we also got this. So that's the Thin Mint. It's got a more sativa look to it. I'm sure you can see that.
Hybrid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's hybrid for sure. But it's got a lot more of that in it. It's definitely a hybrid. But this is a little more. So this is the bubblegum kush here.
Wow, that is really well manicured, man. Every single top is almost perfectly level with each other.
I've actually been kind of experimenting this year too, because like this way, this way is south. So I'm trying to actually make it more like a solar panel, like leveled, like on an angle. So this side is actually like a little bit higher than this side. So I'm experimenting with that, because I would imagine that's like, how the light is hitting it. So it would catch it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't
100%.
know. So I'm playing around with that. You want to check out a wormhole?
Let's see it.
Okay.
I'm scared of you giving me worms, but let's see it.
You're scared of you getting worms?
Man, I'm on a farm, man. I always worry about my animals getting worms.
Oh, those kind of worms. Well, I don't think they're the same kind of worms, man.
Yeah, but the way you say it, you got to be careful.
I'm going to give you worms, buddy, whether you like it or not. Okay, so let me just scoop this back a bit. Oh, so, oh, snap. Hold on a sec. There we go.
You're good. You're good.
Our setup is in the Bodoba. So you can see a worm here. You can check that out. You see them? It's chilling on the side.
It's just right there, ready.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Didn't even go digging for that or nothing.
Oh, no, they chill. They chill. So let me just see if I can get into this. Yeah. You see any in there?
Yeah, I do see a few.
Yeah, they love this one. This one's really interesting because it's a smaller, shallower one, but it's like the worms are going around in the bin more. They're filling the thing up. Every time I come in, it's like it's a little bit higher up. And the other one, they don't really drag it in as much. And this one, it's like it's actually filling up with whatever they're dragging into it, it seems like, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the plant is just like super green. Doesn't need a damn thing. I only just started giving it. There's a really cool company, actually. You should check them out, man. They're called Black Swallow. Have you heard of this place before? Have you seen them? Heard about them?
I heard about them from you there. The Black Swallow, it's mainly fish-based, right?
It is a fish based, yeah, but they have it's like a living soil company out of Brantford, Ontario, and they make like really, really amazing soil. I went and did like a tour of their place, and they're just like soil scientists to the core, and like everything's super heady, and
I'm
and
I'm gonna
yeah,
be I'm gonna be asking you backstage what parts of the fish they use because
oh, I don't know. That
oh,
might be
okay.
a more sense that might be something I don't know the answer to. This
I
one doesn't
love
really
fish.
actually have any.
I love fish fertilizer. I love it. And
Oh yeah.
some of the best stuff I've ever had, I've noticed it depends on what they're eating. And like sometimes like the salmon and stuff, they get a lot of the kelp in their diets.
Ah.
This fish can be great stuff. Fish can be freaking amazing stuff.
Yeah, most of the slow release fertilizers seem to need it in it. So it's kind of hard to get away from, but they have a slow release fertilizer. Yeah, and that's the one I'm trying out this year. I've never tried it before.
When
So we'll see
when
how
the
she
fish,
goes.
I think with the fish kind of like they're bioaccumulators, so there's trace amounts of stuff where you get like just little bits of it, not too much.
Yeah, for sure. We got dog or no, Will and Patrick Furry. Okay. Do you notice those worms you've shown before inside the corn husks alone or full cobs? Oh, sorry. Do you notice? Yes. I don't know what the question is exactly. Maybe clarify. I've noticed them in there for sure.
I wish I could help you out.
Here,
I
let me put
really
it
wish
up.
I could help you out.
Let me put it up. I'll put it up for you. Make that make sense.
Do you
Thanks
notice
for answering
those
my question.
worms you've been shown before inside the corn husks alone
Let's go check.
or full cobs? Oh, okay, I think they're asking like, are the worms filling up the whole cob, or is it just like one or two worms? Because you said that it's not their favorite thing, but it does work as a good soil loosener.
Well, the good thing about it is it's like an organic material that that basically never breaks down quickly. So they get through everything quickly. That is just like what we imagine corn to be, and then when they get into the actual like inside of it, they just kind of like circle around in the inside, and I don't know why they do it. I think it's just to like hang out in there. I think they're having a good time.
William, man, that's a good
I don't know.
question, William, actually.
They're always looking for a place to have their nasty worm sex. So I think it's just a cool place for them to hang out.
I gotta say, William, for what I've seen, his worms his worms are thriving better than I've seen any worms, and that those corn cobs were pretty full. Yeah, they weren't completely saturated. They were still allowing for some aeration in his soil, but they were definitely utilizing that biomass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it's great. Honestly, when you put it in the garden, you got something that's never going to break down. Well, it's going to break down over a long period of time. These are the compost girls. What's really cool about these, man, literally, I have done nothing for these plants. I haven't given them anything. I haven't watered them once. I haven't given them any kind of fertilizer. They're literally just growing out of a pile of compost, which I don't know if I've seen that before. Just somebody growing it out of a pile of compost. So I thought that was an interesting experiment as well. And they've actually kind of like got past the top of this now.
You know, as a breeder, that's exactly what I do. Like that's exactly what I look for. Is like sometimes you gotta see if they're gonna make it. And that compost girl looks phenomenal. I love her leaves. They're so wide.
Oh yeah, this is the one with those trippy leaves. I don't know if I have any to show you here, but yeah, that one leaf had like
How did
13
he
or
doesn't
14 points.
it doesn't smell sour at all, does it?
Doesn't really have much in terms of smell right now, honestly. I can't really get much, but just like a kind of a greeny, hayy taste right now, honestly. It's not quite.
You guys
It
don't
just
have
started. This one's a little bit behind the other ones too in terms of flower, so I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Do you guys grow hemp in Ontario?
Like legally, are we allowed?
Is there a lot of hemp production? Like I know Canada kind of pales in comparison to the States when it comes to hemp production. But is there much hemp production?
I honestly don't know. That'd be a cool thing to find out. But you're about to become a hemp expert, as I understand.
Have you ever tried CBG?
Check out these bees right now. The bees are active. You see them?
Yeah, we can see them.
They just are like doing stuff. The best part about bees is there's always something to look at.
I'm surprised they're so active at night.
Oh yeah. And like honestly, man, if I put my hand right here, I can feel like hot air pushing out of this little crack. They make like a nice warm little fucking environment in there. But yeah, they say not to mess around with the hive at nighttime, but we noticed what they do to like get ready to attack something. So I kind of am aware of what it is right now. And they probably would eventually attack us here. So we won't chill here too long.
You said they do a little dance, right?
Well, when they're attacking, what they were doing is they were all lining up across the front of this, and their abdomens were facing us, and they were like shaking it in our direction. If we moved, they moved their abdomens towards us, and then they started swarming, like they started flying at us. So
was
they
that
were, like,
before?
telling each other.
Was that before or after the edible?
That's a really good question. I think it was after.
After?
So, it was very concerning. We'll take you guys back inside. Maybe we'll go down to the worm zone next. Do we got anything popping up in the chat there about bees, worms?
I thought I was set up this time, but my laptop froze on me sadly, and I haven't been able to get it to work for logging back in.
That's okay. That's okay.
I actually have a ton.
Are you good to hang out for a little bit longer?
I'm good. I really wish I could see the chat.
That's okay, man.
If there's anything seriously important, please pop it up. I'm sorry to put that pressure on you, but
yeah, I think the last thing popped up. Let me fix that, and let's see if we can get another one up before I head downstairs. Can you clarify? 3 more messages. All right, we got. I consider a root-bound plant might benefit with natural loosening by things getting into tight spaces. I was asking pertaining to roots from corn cobs rather than the husks. I mentioned those 3 things because he was talking about root-bound autos while you were gone.
Okay. So he's saying, does it sound like he's asking if the roots would grow through the corn cob?
Do you notice these worms you've shown before? It's like we're husks alone or full cobs. It's totally full cobs. Like we're talking the husks they destroy within a couple days. Sorry, I get the question more clarified now that I'm looking at it. They're like literally they go out around the outside and then there's I guess some soft bits on the ends. So they get through that and then they find their way inside the corn cob. And they just move in there. And honestly, I think what they're always looking for is place for other adults to congregate. And so I think it's just one of those places they find themselves where they can exchange DNA, which is when I always open the bins and they're hanging out around the tops. It's like that's their favorite thing to do is just partying, especially when they've been eating beer grains and smoking weed. Maybe I'm going to introduce mushrooms into the mix. I haven't decided yet. If I can pick a natural mushroom that's psychedelic, I might try
it. What do you mean?
Like if I could find a mushroom outdoors that was like not
like some witch hat.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, that'd be like a West Coast thing. I don't know about over there.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know which hat, but I think I've heard of it. I haven't really done a lot of like mushroom picking for psychedelic purposes, that is.
But you're not saying like a golden teacher or something commercially available.
Exactly. Like, well, I just don't want to spend a bunch of money on getting my worms, all amped up.
Not my particular topic, but
Okay, well, I'll take you guys downstairs and show you the worms. If you want to see worms,
You
just
know,
throw some worms in the chat. Just if you want to see them. If you don't want to see them, there won't be any worms, and I won't show them. So,
Wormhole, do you want me to stick around for your transition as you go to the basement, or do you think I could
no, yeah,
possibly
just-
tap out and try getting my stuff working here?
all good, man. Yeah. Oh, you want to like tap out and then come back in?
Maybe, yeah, if I can get my stuff.
No. You just gotta get. Yeah. You can try to get it working. What are you trying to get the things popping up?
I got an old laptop in the back, so I'm running the StreamYard on my phone, so that way I can talk to you. And then I had my laptop in the background that had the YouTube loaded up on, so I could see the comments that were coming in. But at the moment, I'm completely blind. I can't see anything.
You don't need to see shit, man. Just hang out for a bit longer. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about seeing the comments. There's not a ton going on. We're just chit chatting here. Okay, do you want to come down and check out the worms?
Always.
All right, I'll go do it. Hold on a sec.
I might need a penicillin shot, but always.
Penicillin, eh?
That's a Wolf of Wall Street joke.
Cool, man. What else is going on in your gardening life? What's coming up right now? What are you eating from the garden?
So right now, dealing with that, other than dealing with that hop laden virus, so the ones that haven't been affected by it, I'm mainly paying attention to some of the different some of the different phenotypes that I have showing, or I shouldn't say that. Some of the different chemotypes. That way I'm dotting my I's. The chemotypes, like different triggers that are happening with the plant under different stressors. So my plant, it keeps shifting on me. Like one day it's green, one day it's purple. I'm like, what the hell's kind of going on here, you know? But she's kind of just playing around with her, seeing what's happening.
Dope, man. All right, let's see what's happening with worms, shall we? How do I do this? All right. Let's see, we got some worm action going on here. Ooh, baby. Let's see if
So
can
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Like this might have to do actually. This might partially to do with Buddy Williams' question earlier with the corn cobs. Do you notice much smell, or are you adding enough carbon material that you're not smelling anything? Because you got this like in your house, right?
It doesn't smell like anything. It's hard to explain, but essentially they like really just eat everything immediately. Like it only takes them maybe 4 or 5 days. Only 4 or 5 days to get through the stuff. So there's not really much time for it to smell. And like I say, they basically want to be able to eat the stuff fresh. So like I said, the microbes work with them, and as they break the stuff down, they're eating all the stuff that probably would like rot or whatever. So even after a week, you take an apple out or whatever, it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell like anything. But you want to chop everything up. The biggest thing to do would be to like create a lot of surface area so that they can get at everything from every angle. You know,
Makes
that's like
sense.
really the biggest thing is like if you throw a big pile of stuff in is what a lot of people do. Ooh, this one's like really pumping them. Ooh, buddy. Let's see if we can see some of this.
Fuck, man. My apologies. That looks beautiful. Like that's some really dark earth. If it doesn't smell, that's.
Oh, it doesn't smell like anything. Like I'm smelling it right now. It smells like. It literally smells like nothing. It's hard to explain, but yeah, they don't.
Are you covering your mic by chance right now, Wormhole?
Yeah, I'm standing away from it. Hold on a sec. I'll move it closer.
There you go. There you go. I could hear you.
Yeah.
It's just a little muffled.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's like literally no smell. They break all this stuff down. Like even these beer grains from last week, you can see like really small babies up in there. You see all the babies?
Yeah. You see all the little eggs up in there?
Well, they're not eggs. They're actually like little squiggles.
Those little white. Okay, they are wiggly. Okay,
Yeah, those are the babies.
I thought they were like little eggs until I seen them moving.
No, the white little things are springtails. Like the
Springtail.
really, really, really tiny ones that are not a worm-looking thing. They're called springtails. They work with composting environments like this. They're totally harmless. They work with the worms. So the springtails are totally harmless, but there's tons of them. But yeah, there's like a lot of worms up in here right now. This
So,
one is
like,
really
are all those beneficials, or do you ever have unwanted neighbors around to worry about?
The only thing you got to worry about really is mites that happen, as I understand, anyways, when you have lower pH, and you like. So if you know the real keys to worm farming, as far as like the things you should feed them, is you want to stay away from like really acidic food, because it will lower the pH to the point that you'll invite mites into the equation, is what I understand. So as long as you're like not feeding them a bunch of things like lemons and limes and things that are going to lower the pH of the bin, then you don't really get them. And like everything
And
that's in there is supposed to be
you're
there.
paying
Basically.
you're paying attention to that yourself clearly. So, like, even if you do add them, you know at what concentrations you're allowed to and stuff, right?
I just don't add them at all.
Oh,
Like
okay,
basically,
okay.
the only thing you really add, like those things in particularly, you don't add. But like, yeah, you could pretty much be pretty loose with it until it gets to like limes and lemons and things like that. Like you could give them mangoes, for instance, which have a lot of like
Kind of like
acidity
an
to
auto,
them, perhaps.
kind of like
Yeah.
transplanting an autoflower.
Talking about, sorry, I'm not doing a great job of the filming here. Talking about corn, this is a piece of corn that's just like I'm not even touching it. It's
Oh,
just, and
you
this
can't even tell that's
can't.
the corn. Was that the same corn cob from last video?
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure, but it's like this is what it does to it. It just kind of like they just demolish it. I'm barely touching it. So this bin is actually low in carbon right now. So I'm gonna actually, I can only do so much with one hand, but basically feeding it paper is all you got to do. So I got a couple bags of paper here. So this is what I would do with all these bins. Sorry, I'm not doing a great job of this. There we go. That's better. Sorry, man. Yeah, so just like spreading this paper out, and I have to do this for all of the bins down here. I got to get a bunch of carbon into these bins and get them all dialed in with carbon and food, which I don't think I could really pull it off right now because I don't have a assistant with the camera, unfortunately. A little bit difficult.
You're doing a lot better than me over here.
That's all good, man.
You could definitely see the baby worms coming through, and the biodegradation of the corn cob there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hold on, I'm gonna close these down a bit.
I am gonna tap out, Wormhole.
Yeah, that's okay, man.
I got my dog is definitely noticing, so I gotta tap out, but brother, it's been a pleasure.
No problem, man. Thanks so much for coming out, dude. Appreciate you, man. So for y'all, go check out Charles' page. He's got some really cool stuff book reading up there, and he's taught me a lot already about it. So highly recommend it. For those still hanging out, appreciate you. Had a couple other news articles we were going to get through. Let me see if I can orient myself here. All those hanging out, thanks so much. How you doing, Sam Squatch? Sam Squatch is still in the house. We are still rocking for at least a little while longer. Big thanks to Moonbeam Charles for coming out tonight. Love hanging out with him. Let's see if I can get this sorted out. There we go. And worming is tough. a lot of lot of work goes into worming, and very people don't really care about it. We will be selling worms soon, though. So that'll be cool. If you live in Canada, I'll hook you up with some worms. Shout out to Sam Squatch. He really got the worm show back on the road. Shout out to Sam Squatch. He really got the YouTube channel back on track. Sam, I'm shouting you out. So if you're still hanging out, we appreciate you. And a couple other interesting news articles I was looking at. How's the new strain? How's it going? It tastes good. Okay. Awesome. So there was this one about dog food. Hemp. What was that about? Adding hemp to dog food improves digestive health. What was that all about?
I don't really know it. You think?
I don't know. Let's read it. Okay. A new study found that adding hemp oil or hemp seed byproducts to dog food can improve digestive health without negatively impacting the overall microbial system. Okay. Study published in the journal Veterinary Sciences suggests certain types of hemp derivatives could be safely incorporated into canine food as ingredients. However, the effects appear to be partially dependent on whether the cannabis is added as an oil or fiber supplement. Interesting. For the study, researchers at Kasisart University in Thailand put 24 mixed breed dogs into 3 groups. One had food containing 11% concentration of fiber-rich hemp seed byproduct. Another received food with 2% hemp seed oil, and a third got control with no hemp. Poor dogs. No hemp, nothing, man. The dogs were fed the diets for 90 days. Man, these dogs are just tripping balls for 90 days. Researchers compared fecal samples from before the experiment with those from 30 and 90 days. Genetic sequencing was used to track changes in the composition of diet. Microbial species richness. Interesting. I don't know if I really trust this article, though. I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, it's like a very marijuana. It's pro marijuana. Overall, the findings suggest that hemp seed ingredients can be safely integrated into dog food while supporting gut health by promoting certain beneficial bacteria, the study authors said. Okay, interesting. Well, cats have catnip. I don't know. You gotta come over here. But it's not going to work otherwise. Why is there not dog nip? I'm not sure, honestly, and I think it should be. But yeah, honestly, like, cats already have a thing that is basically marijuana.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, dog nip.
I don't think it exists, but maybe somebody like Moonbeam Charles could work on making it with his genetic breeding capabilities. Yeah, let me turn that down. I didn't have the camera set up. We're not looking at this side. Yeah, like honestly, I got my when I was in university. I used to sell pot cookies to people, not dogs, no. But I had a lot of them at one point, and I was selling them. I was going to university and selling them, so we went to the university one night to sell them, and my dogs got into them. My dogs,
Snacks.
they got so it was the highest I've ever seen dogs get.
Snacks.
Yeah.
Were they
So,
okay?
and then there's no, well, not really. They were really hot. It wasn't pleasant. Like it was pleasant for us to witness because it was very cute, and they were very cuddly and I couldn't move. But for them, maybe they were just tripping balls.
They could have been.
I mean, I think they were. Yeah. So yeah, getting dogs eating cannabis of any variety. Actually, my sister's a veterinarian. I don't actually know what her opinions. Do you know what her opinions are on that? Yeah, she's gonna be mad at me for saying it is. What is this? Marijuana rules for. Oh, this is for the WNBA. So the WNBA removes marijuana from banned substances list and sets rules for players' endorsement of hemp CBD products. What? The WNBA has officially removed marijuana from the prohibited substances list while also laying out rules for how players can invest in and promote cannabis companies. What? What a change. Like, you can't do this. Actually, you can, and you can promote it. At the same time, however, the Women's Basketball League is also adding several psychedelics to the list of banned drugs. What? I don't want to be in the WNBA. As part of the negotiations between the Women's National Basketball Players Association and WNBA earlier this year, the league offered to remove cannabis from its drug testing protocol. Now, under the terms of the long-form version of the new collective bargaining agreement, signed by representatives of both sides, marijuana no longer appears on the prohibited substances list, whereas under the prior CBA, it was included under drugs of abuse. Drugs of abuse.
Wow. Drugs of abuse.
Now they're like, there's no drugs of abuse, psychedelics. Everybody can be tripping balls as they head up the court. Does that mean they could be tripping balls on the court? Really? That's great. Do you know Doc Ellis's?
Who?
Guy who pitched the perfect game while high on LSD. Yeah, he literally got called up like an hour before the game, and he was in like he had to fly in.
Planning.
He wasn't playing, so he dropped acid.
Wow.
And then he went out and pitched a perfect game. That means like no hits, nothing, or it was a no hitter. Maybe somebody will correct me on this, but he went 9 innings high out of his mind. He describes the whole experience. Wow. Anyways,
wow.
So maybe we're going to see some of those performances from the WNBA coming up here, folks. Who knows? Prior WNBA policy. It's all legal now, people. Go. Be some pretty interesting dunk moves, I'm sure. They get all in. Some crazy shit. Okay. Prior WNBA policy treated cannabis significantly more restrictively compared to the NBA, as well as multiple other professional sports leagues beyond basketball that have also adopted reforms amid the state legalization movement. First-time offenses generally resulted in treatment referrals, but repeated violations could lead to fines and suspensions. Under the new rules, players could still be subject to testing for cannabis if they enter the league's drugs of abuse program. If they're found to have been under the influence, okay, well, they're well engaged in activities for the team or the league, or if they have a dependency or other related issues involving the use of marijuana. So it sounds like you kind of get away with it. Maybe it's like maybe it's an off season.
Oh yeah, because you usually have to go the regular pee testing.
Well, I don't know if well, maybe.
I think they do to make sure. I don't know.
Those are referred to as a marijuana treatment program and do not comply with the rules would be subject to fines of $300 per day. Any player who exhibits a pattern of behavior that demonstrates a mindful disregard for her treatment responsibilities or test positive for marijuana would face escalating penalties such as $3,000 fine or suspension for 3 games or more. Okay. So you can, but you'll get only if you're in a program would you get fined. Players could be subject to reasonable cause, drug testing, or administrative proceedings if they are convicted of a felony involving the distribution or marijuana. We don't have to worry about this, but I'm just through it. So they can hold a direct or indirect ownership interest in marijuana companies as long as the interest is passive, meaning no management governance. Okay, so that's pretty much like the changing things up. It looks like. That's pretty cool. Good for the WNBA. I mean, honestly, WNBA is really cool nowadays. It's like we got some new stars going on. They're fucking smoking weed, doing fucking drugs on the court. They're having a blast, and we love to see that. Good for the WNBA. I did see a WNBA game, and it was awesome. Yeah. So awesome. They're full. Oh, man. The Stereo Olympics. Okay, so we missed this stuff. Freaky Nugs, thanks for coming in, man. I almost want to say those dogs lived a good life. Yes, they probably did. Live an awesome life. They got to test hemp for a very long period of time. Must be nice. Hemp seeds don't get you high. True. Still funny though. We can joke. The ban lifted recently took place. That makes sense. Dope. And then what other article? I had a couple other ones that were pretty cool. So the other one was this Woody Harrelson article, which seemed to be like not really interesting, but okay. If actor Woody Harrelson could choose anyone living or dead, patronize his Los Angeles marijuana dispensary, Ganja Giggle Garden, he says he'd pick classic cannabis icon Bob Marley. But he conceded that he doesn't think he could go toe for toe with the late reggae star. This doesn't actually seem that interesting, so I'm not going to read it. I'm fine. Do you guys think you can go toe to toe with Bob Marley? I mean, I think I probably could. I mean, it was like the 70s and such. There's no way the weed was stronger than it is now. There's no way Bob Marley could outsmoke me. I'm putting it out there. No way Bob Marley could outsmoke me. Woody Harrelson, come on, man. Let's be real, man. I thought if you got a marijuana dispensary, you should know more about smoking weed. There's no way Bob Marley could outsmoke anybody nowadays. Well, how strong do you think the strains were back then, man? Like, maybe they were really good. Maybe they were fire, but grown's come a long way. All right, what else we got? Things that are funny in use. Oh, actually, this one's pretty good. Okay, marijuana dispensary offers free joints for pics of Bigfoot following local sighting. It's also from that marijuana company or marijuana website. So I don't know if it's legit news, but I'm going to say it anyways. Okay, with news of a reported Bigfoot sighting in Michigan. Wait, what? Okay. With news of a reported Bigfoot sighting in Michigan making headlines nationwide, I don't know if that's even true, but okay. A local marijuana dispensary is doing its part to help solve the mystery by offering customers a free joint for any photographic proof of the mythological creature. What? The alleged sighting took place last month with a father and son who were out fishing, reporting that they witnessed a large animal fall to the ground and begin to approach them before their dog scared it away. The account, documented by the Bigfoot Research Organization. Wait, what am I reading right now? Why is there Bigfoot Research Organization? Sam Squatch found these articles for us. Okay. Unique Cannabis, evidently invested in lore, leveraged the moment and posted a sign outside his cannabis store in Monroe that says, "Bring photo proof of Bigfoot for a free pre-roll." Oh my God. According to the BFRO report, the creature appeared to be the size of a bear, but resembling a gorilla-type animal. The father and son captured a photo. Of course they did. Why not? Of the creature, but Unique Cannabis is providing incentive for anyone who does. This is nonsense.
I'm about to go to Michigan.
You are?
I'm about to go to Michigan. I'm going to go to Michigan.
I mean, if you go through the effort to recreate a Bigfoot scene, I think you deserve a pre-roll. Do it. We should do it at the swamp, perhaps. Yeah. Really? You did? Oh, damn. Been going out there without. What did it look like?
Gorilla type creature.
Mm. What's the gorilla doing? Swamp.
I don't know. That's what I wanted to know. It still got messy out there, so that's all out of the swamp.
There's a lot going on out there. All right, all right. See if we got any other funny articles. I want to get through these because they were funny. Flowers. Oh yeah, what was this one? Okay, so this one was super interesting. For flowers, how a New York garden center branched into cannabis. You want to read this, Sam? Thanks.
One of the state's first licensed cultivators, Nanticoke Gardens, weathered shifting regulations, unexpected costs, and customer questions in order to create a year-round revenue stream for the 53-year-old garden sector. See, the issue is I'm like blind. I can't see.
Nanticoke Gardens doesn't discriminate when it comes to the plants itself. Looking for geraniums? The store has them. Petunias? Okay, I get it. The New York Price Garden Center is now growing more than 24 different cannabis cultivars. Nice. We grow plants, period, says Pete Schaefer, co-owner of Nanticoke Gardens. It's a plant. Oh, sorry. If a plant is legal, it allows us to have a business and serve our customers. Then we're interested in growing it. The garden store from its inception in 1973 first added hemp and wholesale cannabis cultivation to its portfolio during the decade and a half since Schaefer purchased it back in 2011. The company was one of New York's first licensed cultivators in 2022 and now has products in more than 500 of the state's roughly 700 dispensaries. It's really cool. So they kind of just like adapted their business to sell cannabis. That's really cool. It doesn't sound like they sell them to individuals though, because they're saying they, but maybe they do. Schaefer and his young brother and co-owner Chip Schaefer. Chip. Jesus Christ. Chip. Poor guy. Employ nearly 50 people. Exactly. Employ nearly 50 people across Nanticoke's cannabis cultivation and production facilities. And New York's Office of Cannabis Management recently approved the family business to double its growing space to 25,000 square feet. Wow, looks pretty dope. Literally, from beer to bud. Pete Schaefer cuts his teeth in the beer distribution industry. Just a 3-hour drive southeast in New York City. He burned out after golf. I don't care about all this. So I get it. So basically, they just said, you know what? We're going to grow some cannabis and we're going to get it to people because it's a legal plant.
That was an interesting topic, blog style. I hate cool thing that is reported as a blog.
True. It did feel that. What do you mean by that? Like it's reported
Like
as a blog?
it's just like there's too many emotions behind it. They're like,
Right.
yeah, you want to
Yeah.
go and do this and do this. And
I agree with you.
too much of a length of time. Just tell me what it is.
I know. I like the new Eighth Eye things where they just tell you the summary of what your is about you're about to read.
No.
We need more of that. More AI people. Come on, let's go. AI, let's go. Okay, I think we're going to wrap up. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Those that did. I don't believe Bob would smoke competitively. Just smoke till you're irie. I like it. Okay, very good. Appreciate you guys all coming out tonight. Thank you to Moonbeam Charles for coming out as well. Guy's a legend and in my life at least. He's a legend in many of your hearts as well. Thank you for Sam Swatch for coming out and collecting the news articles for us today. Very nice. This will be a ongoing theme that we do.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good
Brian
morning.
Forgy. Oh, you just came in and we're just tapping out, Brian. Jeez Louise, man. What time is it there, Brian? I'm curious.
4:20.
Can't be. There's no way Brian's waking up at 4:20.
There might be an alarm on his phone to wake up before 4:19.
Perhaps. Yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming out. Sorry, we're 6:30 a.m. Bro, like that's early. You'll see me up before 8:30. 9? Maybe 9. Appreciate you for coming out, buddy. Thank you guys all so much. All right. Have a great evening. And we're peacing out from the wormhole.